Now that you've learned about some basic communication tools within Blackboard and the discussion board, let's take a look at blogs, journals, and wikis. Let's begin by talking about blogs. A blog is an online journal that is frequently updated and intended to be shared with others. There are two elements of every blog entries and comments. A blog entry, which contains text, images, links, multimedia, and attachments added by course numbers and open for comments. Comments are remarks or responses to blog entries made by other course members, including you, the instructor. You can choose to allow students to participate in blogs in one of three ways. First, through a course blog. All course members can add blog entries and comments on blogs. Second is through an individual blog. Each person can add entries only to their own blog, but other course members can view and add comments to it. Group blogs can be enabled by instructors for a group of users. They can add blog entries, make comments on blog entries building upon one another, and all course members can view group blogs. However, non-group members can only add comments. We'll take a closer look at group tools in the Black Belt section of this course. Now that you know about the types of blogs you're able to create, let's set one up. First, I'm going to enter the Course Tools area of my course, and then I'm going to click on Blogs. Remember, you can create a tool link directly to the blogs in your course menu if you intend to use this feature regularly. Next, let's create a blog. Here we'll have to give it a name. In the text editor, you'll want to enter any instructions, perhaps the topic of the blog and any information your students might need. Underneath this, we'll find the blog availability. Click Yes if you'd like to make this blog available to students. You can limit the availability to this blog using the date and time restrictions. Beneath those, we'll find blog participation. This is where you can choose to make the blog for individuals or for the course. You can also choose to allow anonymous comments. Under Blog Settings, make a selection to index the entries either monthly or weekly. You'll also be able to choose whether or not you'd like to allow users to edit and delete entries or allow users to delete comments. Under Grade Settings, if you choose to grade the blog, you'll be able to enter a grade. You'll simply click Grade, and this will bring up some more options. You'll have to enter how many points are possible, and from here you'll want to choose how many times they need to post to the blog in order for you to be notified that it needs grading. If you like, you can add a due date, which will add the blog to the student's Blackboard calendar. You're also able to associate a rubric with the blog. Once you have the blog set up the way you'd like, simply click Submit and your blog will be created. When it's time to grade the blog, head over to the Full Grade Center. From here, you'll see that we have one entry under the training blog that needs to be graded. We'll use the drop-down menu to the right of the icon and click Grade User Activity. Here we'll see the user's blog posts. Now if we want, we can use this comment button to put a comment on their post. Remember, you can also interact with this blog through the Posts area of the My Blackboard suite of tools. If we're satisfied with their work, we can simply enter a grade, add some feedback, and click Submit. The grade will be saved and you can click OK in the corner to return to the Full Grade Center. Now that we've covered blogs, let's move on to journals. Journals are a personal space for students to communicate privately with the instructor. You can choose to make a journal entry public, allowing all course members to view the entries. There are two varieties of journal, the individual journal and the group journal. When a journal is used in a group area, members of the group can view and comment on each other's entries. Again, we'll cover that more in depth in the Black Belt section of this course. Creating a journal is almost like creating a blog. Let's take a look at how it's done. To access the Journal tool, you can either create a link on your course menu or access the Tools area and then click Journals. To build the journal, you simply click Create Journal. From here, you'll enter a name, include the instructions, and then set your options. Is the journal available? We'll say yes. You can choose to limit the date and time with the date and time restrictions. Under Settings, you can index the entries monthly or weekly, allow users to edit and delete entries, allow users to delete comments, and permit course users to view the journal. If you decide to grade the journal, simply click Grade and enter the amount of points possible. Then set the amount of entries the user will have to input to meet the needs grading standard. Next, add a due date if you so choose, and add a rubric if you're utilizing those as well. When you've got this set the way you'd like, click Submit and your journal will be displayed. When it's time to grade your journal, we'll do exactly as before and go to the Full Grade Center. From here, find the Journal column, click on the drop-down menu next to the name of the student who needs grading, and click Grade User Activity. We're able to read the journal post, and we can again use the comment button to post a comment to the participant. If you're satisfied, we can enter a grade, give any feedback, click Submit, and our grade is saved. Clicking OK will again take us back to the Full Grade Center. For the last segment of this section, we're going to take a look at a wiki. A wiki allows course members to contribute and modify one or more pages of course-related materials, providing a means of sharing and collaborating. All wiki contributions, like revisions to a page and comments, are trackable. Building a wiki is just as easy as a blog or journal. Let's take a look. I happen to have a wiki on my course menu, so I'll go ahead and use that link to enter the tool. From here, click Create Wiki. I have to give this wiki a name, and in the instructions, I have to write what the students are expected to do. Under date and time restrictions, I can change the availability or limit the availability of the entire wiki. Under participation, I have the option to choose whether a student's access is closed or open to editing the wiki, and then I can also choose whether the student's comment access is open or closed. If I decide to grade the wiki, I have to select Grade, then enter the amount of the points possible, and set how many times the student will need to save the page or update a page in order for me to know that they're ready to be graded. Next, enter a due date and add a rubric if I so choose. When I've got the wiki set the way I want to, I click Submit. Now the wiki is being displayed. When you enter the wiki, you will be told that you need to create a home page. If you intend on giving your students a starting point, this is the step you'll need to take. When it's time to grade the wiki, head into the Full Grade Center. From here, click the drop-down arrow in the Wikis column next to the name of the student that needs grading, and select Grade User Activity. What you'll see is a list of the pages that the student has worked on and the modifications that they've made to the page. From here, you can click on the page itself to see the content in this pop-up. Closing the pop-up, you can then use the Compare function to see what the student has actually done. In this case, you can see that the student has added some information to the table. If you ever need to know what each color represents, you can click the legend in the top of the pop-up. Click OK to close the window. If you're satisfied with the student's work, you can grade them, give them feedback, and then click Submit. It's saved, and then you can either use the drop-down to go to the next student, or you can click Return to the Grade Center. That's it for Part 3. See you soon in Part 4.